Hi everyone, this is Akshat and welcome to another fun session of Introduction to Cryptography. Today we learn about ancient cryptography. We will learn about Caesar shift cipher, which is the first stop on most people's journey into secret codes in cryptography. We will be encrypting the secret messages, decrypting them to make them readable again, and find out how to break the code even if we don't know the key. Now let's dive into some little history. Do you guys know that the first well-known cipher was used by Julius Caesar in around 58 BC? He protected his confidential information by encrypting it using a cipher which is now named after his name, Caesar shift cipher. Caesar shifted each letter by a number which is known as the code key in order to make them appear meaningless should it get into the hands of the enemy. However, it isn't a very difficult cipher to break, and that is the reason why it did not stay secret for so long. To decode a message sent using Caesar shift cipher, one should be aware of the shift used or the code key. Or should he be? We'll figure out.
Imagine Alice and Bob are communicating using Caesar shift cipher. So first they will need to figure out the code key. Let's say they choose a code key as 3. So they will need to shift these letters by 3. So A, 1, 2, 3. So A now becomes D. B now becomes E. C now becomes F, and similarly for all. And if Alice is to say, "Hey Bob," she would say H is now K. So this is the message that Bob will receive. Now to decode it again, he will see that K is actually H.
This unreadable message or encrypted message can be sent openly to Bob, and all he would need is a key by which the letters have been shifted, and he will re-shift the letters to decipher the message and break the cipher.
So that is how Bob is able to decode the message that Alice sent using the Caesar shift cipher.
Instead of writing the letters again and again in series to make our secret message, let's make a cipher wheel to make our job easier.
Make your code key by choosing a letter to letter combination from the bigger circle as well as the smaller circle. But what is a code key? For example, when A overlaps with A, basically all the alphabets overlap with their same self, then we call it as a code key 0. Rotating the top circle either anti-clockwise or clockwise means increasing or decreasing the key. A positive code key means an anti-clockwise rotation of the top circle. For example, to get a code key 6 from a code key 0, we would rotate it anti-clockwise so that each alphabet shifts 6 places, and so that A becomes G now. A negative code key means a clockwise rotation of the top field. For example, if we need to get a key -6 from a key 0, we would rotate the top circle clockwise so that each alphabet shifts the position 6 times, and now A overlaps with U.
Note that there are only 26 different code keys possible. For example, code key 25 means A will overlap with Z, and code key 26 means A will overlap with A, which is code key 0. Hence, only 0 to 25 combinations are possible for the code keys.
To encode the message, first we'll need a code key. Let's say we fix our code key to be 7. Hence, each letter shifts by 7 positions, and this means A overlaps with H, B overlaps with I, C overlaps with J, till Z overlaps with G. Let's say I want to say hello. So my first alphabet H is now O. So O. E is L. L becomes S. And O becomes V. So this is the message I will give. And to decode it, we'll again have to use the reshift. So O is here and O corresponds to H. So this means H. L corresponds to E. So L means E. S corresponds to L. And V corresponds to O. Tada! We have decoded the message.
We can also use this cipher to make letter to picture messages, or even one language to another language messages. All you need to do is remove the smaller circle and replace it with a circle that has 26 different pictures or 26 different symbols. So go on and get some funky sketch pens and draw 26 different images. That could be a monkey, an ice cream, or anything you like, and make your own picture language. So we have learned that in Caesar shift cipher, we can encode a message and decode it by using a code key. But what if we don't know the code key? What if your message gets into the hand of an enemy? How easy is it for them to guess the key? Well, since there are only 26 different code keys possible, it is not a tough job. Given enough time, one can search for all the possibilities. Well, that was for the ancient times. Now that we have technology, we can search for the letter frequencies. Letter frequency means how frequent or how often a letter comes in the language. For example, these are the letter frequencies for English. Now that we have computers, we can search for the letter frequencies of a given piece of text, and if you match it with the observed patterns of the letter frequencies for English, you will be able to break the code. There are many websites that will let us do this job. One such website is mentioned in the description. So why wait? Let's try it. For example, here we generate the letter frequencies of this encrypted text. The letter frequencies pattern suggests that O is the most used word here, and it could be possible that letter O is actually letter E, since E is the most used word in English letter frequency. If that is true, it means there is a shift of 10, and when tried with the letters shifted accordingly, we decrypted the message. We just need to now add spaces in to make it readable. Ta-da! Well, that was all about Caesar shift cipher and how to decode it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it lots of love. Share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next fun session of cryptography with another sneaky activity that will revolve around another ancient method of sending secrets. See you!